It's time! Kirby Fighters 2 review. Goody! This game exists. So, let's begin this simple little review. With, of course, where we usually start, the plot. Which, funny little fact, in these reviews, I usually have a little check mark of things I want to talk about, and I talk about them in order. The funny thing here is when I wrote plot on my check mark, I wrote a question mark next to it because this game has no plot. Okay, I'm wrong. It has like one sentence of plot. Essentially, Dedede wants to challenge you, and Dedede and Meta Knight want to challenge you to a 2-on-2 battle tower, and that is pretty much where the plot begins and ends. Okay, no, there is a bit of lore with how they work in their final battle, but it's really so minuscule. It's almost not even worth talking about. Which is, not surprising considering it's a Kirby spin-off. Those usually don't have, like, Shakespearean-level plots. But it's still kind of disappointing coming from Kirby. So now, let's talk about the positives. I love this game's unlockables. While later on it does take a lot of work to get some of these unlockables, I think they're quite cool, as it essentially provides you with costumes that are really cool. Unfortunately, they can also give you remixes of music, which we're going to talk about soon. Overall, I quite love these unlockables because they can look quite good. I just love some of these costumes. And similar reference to Japanese culture, which, oh my goodness, Japanese culture is my weakness. So now, let's talk about the enjoyable let's talk about the enjoyable fighters. I love this game's roster. While it doesn't include my favorite ability, unfortunately, it's because I'm not surprised because it doesn't seem like it would work well in a fighting game. Overall, though, I love quite a lot of these fighters. Like some of the Dream Friends and Star Allies are quite a joy. Probably my favorite one of these is weirdly enough Gooey. Even though Magolor was my favorite, he got nerfed hard, which is quite a shame as a Magolor fan. And now let's talk about the items. Ironically enough, I just used my two favorites. The items are quite amazing in this game, and I love how they reference the series in such creative ways. Like the Mint Leaf, which is really fun to combo with, and the mic that does ridiculous damage. It's quite great. Overall, I quite enjoy this idea. And now, I have to drop a truth bomb on you. This game has good online. Yes, coming from a Nintendo-made game, sort of, it was made by HAL, this game actually has good online. And coming from Super Kirby Clash, which 1 year earlier had some of the worst online of any Nintendo Switch game, that's a huge bonus. There's almost no lag whatsoever in it. It runs pretty much perfectly. And it's honestly quite fun to play with Kirby fans online. I'm a lot better at this game than I am at Smash, too, especially when it compares between me and better players. So, it's pretty much more fun Ultimate Online, which I am down for, because I loved Ultimate, to be honest. And unfortunately, yes, we are going to have to compare this game to Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's pretty much necessary when you talk about this game. And the story mode is definitely the biggest plus with this game. It has the best story mode I think I've seen in a long time. Not because it's really fun doing all these fights one after another, but because of these item rooms. Just picking the right item can be extremely fun. And it actually takes a lot of strategy to get the perfect items. It's quite difficult, but very, very satisfying to get everything right and sweep through this tower. And if it does still take skill. It takes a lot of work to make this sort of thing work well, and I appreciate it when it is. This game has great balancing. Unfortunately, now I have to talk about the negatives. And, okay, wait a second. Am I reading this right? Oh no, we have a problem. The music is one of the negatives. As much as I love Kirby music, I can definitely admit when a song isn't very good. And a lot of this game's music qualifies for the not very good area. There are two particular songs I'm going to show I note of why they're bad. Green Gardens. It's very similar to Green Greens. I'm talking about the remixes here. The originals are great, still. The remix of Green Gardens is very similar to Green Greens in a way, the main theme of the series. And as much as I love Green Greens, this variant of Green Greens legitimately sounds like it is missing notes. And it's extremely off-putting every single time you listen to it. I hate this problem. And it is a constant pain when I listen to it. And Factory Inspection's remix, which is an upbeat remix of Factory Inspection. Anyone who has done this idea is absolutely insane and should probably immediately notice the problem on concept. The reason Factory Inspection is such an astoundingly good song, and one of my favorites in any Kirby game, is because it's ominous, it's spooky, it's somber, it's amazing. Making this whole song upbeat and exciting ruins the entire point. And considering Factory Inspection is once again one of my favorite Kirby songs out there, you can probably empathize with my rage. Honestly, I just hate how much they botched this song. Ah, goody. Next is the repetitive stages. Honestly, I do not like this game's stages. While they can be fun, they've got a problem in that they're all pretty much the same thing. There's like a couple platforms on each stage and an obstacle. That is not fun, that is repetitive and boring. This game isn't bad for it, but I'm kind of annoyed about this. And that they did this. Alright. And the biggest issue with this game. Smash Brothers exists. When we talk about this game, we need to talk Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers Ultimate is one of my favorite games ever made. I think it is an absolutely insanely good game that is a celebration of how far the gaming industry has come. And honestly, Kirby Fighters 2 is best described by a YTP I saw. It's better yet, just called Diet Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And if you're wondering, the name is Kirby Fights Kirby 2. It's a really, really good YTP. So yeah, if you want a good fighting game on Switch, just play Smash and never look back on any other fighting games. I mean, when a Toho fighting game cannot beat Smash, that is your cue that you should never make a fighting game on this console. And honestly, it means I almost never come back to this game. If I want to come back to a fighting game, I'm coming back to Smash. And that's not a good thing. It's a real shame. And there's one final thing I should talk about before getting to the next part. And that is... sorry, sore throat today. Oh goody. The single-handed mode. To be honest, as funny as it sounds, I never touched this mode. It's basically just going through a bunch of fights one-on-one or one-on-two or whatever. And it's not fun, it can be very unfair and very annoying. That's what I'm saying is, I do not like this mode. Overall though, I'd say it's a solid game, but if you want a fighting game, you're better off getting Smash. And if you get bored of Smash, Kirby Fighters 2 should be more than worth your time. Because honestly, Kirby Fighters 2 is good. Oh, and another reason why Kirby Fighters 2 is inferior to Smash, why you should just get Smash for Kirby Fighters 2? Smash Brothers was based off of the engine of Kirby Superstar. So, yeah, it's not looking good for Kirby Fighters 2. I will give this game praise and say that it does have a lot of good going for it. But when I could just go play Smash, I don't see myself coming back to this game as much as I want to unless I'm playing with the Kirby Live Radio boys. Overall, Fighters 2 is still a good game. But to be honest, there are just better fighting games on Switch. But I'll see you next time when it gets the game you're all waiting for. Next episode is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I'll see you then. It's gonna be the big one.